Welcome back everyone to another PowerShell video. Today we're going to be talking about just common commands. We'll talk about the structure of commandlets. So without further ado, let's hit the shell. Alright, so first we're going to be talking about PowerShell commandlets. The one thing you need to know about PowerShell commandlets are they start with the verb - noun. And there's ways to see common verbs, which we'll go over in a second. But let's go ahead and run that first command, get started, right? So the first command we'll be talking about is get date. And so get date does what you think it does. It gets the date. It has different parameters that you can use with it to basically specify a date. So if you need a certain date, you can say date 1/1/2023. You can tell it the format. Say I want month, day, year. And based on the formatting, and you can get documentation around this formatting if you look online. But you can see here it shows 01 Sunday. If we remove one of those D's, it will change it to a different type of format. You could add quotes around this, and we could do dashes inside there to kind of split it up by dashes. It's really customizable however you need it. This is super useful if you're putting dates on your file names. Very popular command. The next command is going to be clear host, and an alias for this is CLS, or you can just type clear. So I'll go ahead and run that, and obviously it clears the screen in PowerShell. Next is write output. One thing to know with write output is it does work with the pipeline, unlike write host. And we're going to show those examples. We haven't really talked about the pipeline much, and we'll get into it further, but it's good to know. Basically, if I run this command right now, it's going to do what we think it's going to do. It's going to put the output to the screen. But instead of just displaying it to the screen, this content can go all across the pipe. So if you ever see someone do something like get service, and then they do like stop service, this thing here is the pipe. So write output can throw the string over the pipe to something else. You can also store it in a variable because it's pipeable. So if we use write host, it's not pipeable. It literally just writes to the screen. It has some custom things you can do with write host where you can change the color of things, which you saw in the previous video. But we can change it to cyan, and then we can run that. And there we go. We have it in cyan. You cannot do that with write output because it's more with it's more with the pipeline stuff. So moving further down here, we can see that we're going to store this in a variable. And with write output, we can go ahead and print the contents. Notice nothing came to the screen. But if we look to see what's stored in this variable, we can see that the text was actually stored in the variable. Whereas write host, it's not the same thing. We can go ahead and do the same, and if we try to look what's in this variable, nothing comes back because it does not act the same as your write output. Another popular command, I really enjoy this command a lot, is basically if you forget a command, you can use get command to find that command. It's great. So go ahead and run it, and you'll see all these commands shoot down on your screen. You'll be amazed how many commands there are, especially if you have a bunch of modules installed. Now, this is where it gets nice. If you're looking for a specific command, let's say, oh, I know the command has get in the name. You can do that. You can write get command, give me the name of get, and you get the output. Another really great one that I like to use personally, I don't have the Active Directory module installed right now. I'm going to show that in a later video. But let's go through here and just pick a module at random. So let's say, here we go, PKI, right? What commands are in the PKI module? Wouldn't that be nice to know? Same with Active Directory. If you want to know that, all you need to know is the module name. And then you can say get command, module, PKI. And there we go. Here are all the commands in the PKI module. We can have the whole list. And then you can even take it further where you say where the name is set. Let's see. Let me try. It might be out. Let's see. See, this is where we get to learn. So set, I bet you have to do the name before the module. Name module PKI. There we go. So it's just the order of operation basically, and you would know that if you read the help. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Get help. Super useful command. We showed it in the previous video. You can get the help on get date. It's going to show you what that looks like. You can see all the integers. You can see it gets a date. We get a year, which is an int. You get a month, which expects an integer. You can get all this stuff Obviously, you can do dash online, get more help on the Microsoft public documentation on the internet. You can do get examples as long as you have your help up to date. It will actually show you examples. This machine doesn't have the help up to date yet, but if it did, it would show those examples. The last command in this video will show you how to update that help if you need to do that, so stay tuned for that. Another really good thing to know, this is really big if you write scripts. If you're writing scripts, if you're creating functions, it's always good to make sure you follow the naming standard of PowerShell. And so Get-Verb, I use it all the time, especially when I'm building modules. And it's going to show you, if I just run Get-Verb, it's going to show you all the approved verbs for PowerShell. And it's going to break it down in categories. So it's going to say, well, these are the common ones. These ones are used for data. These ones are used for lifecycle. And always begin your commandlets with these. If you don't, and you use an IDE like VS Code, it's going to complain and say you're not using approved verbs. And this is why. And this is where you would get those from. You could also sort on verbs, pipe in its sort object, and you can see what that looks like. I always just use Get-Verb because it's organized by category. That's what I like personally. You can do, again, get commands and see get, set, and new. And that will just show you all the commands that start with those. And then last but not least, you can run update help. And that's going to update the help on your machine. Depending on how old your machine is, if it's a VM you just stood up, it may take some time. You have to have an internet connection, but that's how you update the help. So hopefully we covered some quick stuff. Hopefully you learned something. Don't forget to drop comments in the section if you have anything you would like to know about or anything you didn't know about within this video. Last but not least, I almost forgot that we have challenges now. So I have made many challenges at the end of each one of these series, and I'm going to put it in the description of the video that give you a little bit of hands-on stuff. They're not difficult, but it will give you more hands-on. So this is the challenge. So the challenge today is going to be use get command to find the commands that start with new, which you should be able to do now. Also, pick one and run one on get help. Pick a command, run get help. Show those examples. See if you can figure out some new things that I might not know about get help. Get online. That's an awesome one to use when you do dash online. That's super helpful. Just make sure when you're online, when you go to the web page on the top left, it's going to show the PowerShell version. Make sure you're on the version of PowerShell that you're using. So if you're on version 5.1, change it from 7. whatever to 5.1. Also, try using write output and print your name. Put your name in a variable and try to write that. I believe we have more content on my next video around printing out variables and stuff like that. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day.